morning, everyone. Today, we are going to explore an important development in India's strategic and foreign policy landscape. That is, the recent military standoff between India and Pakistan and what it reveals about India's evolving doctrine, its expectations from global powers like United States of America, and also the road ahead for the regional security. The current content is an editorial from Indian Express from 13th May 2025. Let us see an introduction first. We are going to talk about this topic in three different things because it clearly explains about India's strategic shift after the India-Pakistan standoff and also new doctrine on terrorism and cross-border threats. So in the most recent escalation, India showcased a marked shifts in its military and political posture. Unlike earlier times, that is previously, this was not a restrained diplomatic response. Instead, India used precise and calibrated airstrikes penetrating deep into Pakistan territory, including targeting air defense systems near Lahore. So previously we used the restraining approach, but now we are clearly telling to the Pakistan that from now onwards the message is very clear. The terrorism will be treated as an act of war, and proxy warfare will not be entertained and no longer will be tolerated, and even provocation will invite a strong and cost imposing response. So this shift marks a paradigm shift in India's doctrine, where retaliation is not just punitive but also preemptive. This is what we refer to as lowering of the threshold for retaliation. Previously, the threshold is little higher to retaliate, but now we lowered the threshold for the retaliation. Any kind of the act of terrorism will be considered as an act of war. And then, if we can talk about the strategic implications, the first and foremost thing is the precision warfare. India demonstrated aerial superiority with its air force and the ability to target military infrastructure deep inside Pakistan. Second, the doctrinal evaluation. It is very clear that there is now no ambiguity. Sub-conventional aggression by Pakistan will meet with a direct over military response. Third one is psychological deterrence. This was not just about damaging targets. It was about signaling resolve to Pakistan and also to the world. And if you can see what are the different takeaways from this from this Operation Sindoor, if you can see that, if you can analyze, there are three biggest lessons are there. The first and foremost thing is the resetting the bilateral rules. The previously Pakistan operated behind the veil of plausible deniability, that is supporting terrorism with claiming innocence. That veil now has been torn on. There is new doctrine sends a very strong signal: no more proxy wars, no more safe havens. Retaliation will not wait for diplomatic clearance. This is a strategic recalibration. The second, if you can see that, the China's silent alignment. So China's response was slow and subdued. Despite Pakistan using Chinese-made munitions, Beijing did not stop until the ceasefire. This suggests that China's alliance with Pakistan is strategic, not just transactional, aimed at containing India's regional influence. What does this mean to us? India must treat the Sino-Pak axis as a permanent strategic challenge, not a temporary inconvenience. The third and foremost thing is the role of US and its limits. That is where we have to draw the red lines. The United States of America under the President Trump played a key mediating role, but with limitations. Yes, the Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary Marco Rubio were able to broker a de-escalation. But at the same time, the Trump's tweet created a false equivalence between India and Pakistan, even reducing the issue to trade in interests. This is very important because India cannot allow external powers to internationalize the Kashmir. From very starting onwards, we clearly says that Kashmir as an issue between India and Pakistan, we are not encouraging any third party to come and to broker about this issue. So our expectation from the US is not arbitration, it is accountability. That is to pressure Pakistan to rein in terrorism. And if you can see what are the various internal lessons of this Operation Sindoor. Despite we can claim Operation Sindoor a success, the conflict exposed a small gaps in our preparedness. The first and foremost thing is the air defense systems needs an improvement, especially against drones and unmanned air vehicles. Yes, there is a successful we are successfully drowned their drones and unmanned air vehicles, but still there is much more efficiency was expected from a country like India. The second thing is cyber capabilities and real-time intelligence must be enhanced. The third one is indigenous defense production and joint command systems need urgent development. This calls for a broader policy push such as initiatives like Atmanirbhar Bharat. Also note the need for modern military synergy. Army, Navy, Air Force must operate as a single cohesive force in the next decade. And if you can think about geopolitical realignments, one key takeaway is this: India now knows who it count on in a crisis. Number one, while the US is a critical Indo-Pacific partner, its approach can be transactional. The second, China, Turkey, and Azerbaijan, they have shown clear alignment with Pakistan. The third, India must build strategic autonomy while balancing partnerships. This understanding will shape both our diplomatic strategies and also security architecture. The next important section was what is about the nuclear question? What is about this nuclear issue? Every time there is a conflict, Pakistan immediately says that we are also a nuclear state. It rattles that the nuclear saber. It's the classic case of nuclear brinkmanship. But the world must ask, can a state use nuclear weapons as a shield while promoting terrorism? No responsible global order should allow that. India has shown restraint, but the burden of de-escalation should not always fall on Delhi. So, in conclusion, we can say that this conflict is not just a broader episode, it's a strategic turning point. It tells us three things. Number one, India is now willing to assert power militarily and also diplomatically. The second, the threshold for the tolerance against terrorism is lower than ever. We are not going to tolerate anything further. The third, the global partners must respect our red lines, especially on sovereignty and security. So, think about this. Can India sustain this assertive stance while also pushing peace and development in this region? So, if you want to go for further readings, you can read the National Security Strategy documents and also Indian Express article by Vivek Mishra on May 2025, the Shiv Shankar Menon's articles, and also UN Charter Article 51, which might be useful even for your UPSC prelims examinations. Thank you.